Hey everyone, welcome to Alpha Insights. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark. Good to have you with us.
Quick note before we dive in. If you have questions while you're listening, drop them at stockalpha.ai and we'll try to address them.
All right, so the quick headline. Einride and Legato merger corp. 3 filed a registration statement with U.S. regulators today, moving a proposed combination forward.
Right. And just to unpack that, the filing is a formal step that usually comes before proxy materials and a shareholder vote. So it's not the finish line, but it definitely signals momentum.
Exactly. Legato merger corp. 3 is a SPAC that's listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and the 3 suggests it's the sponsor's third go-round. That matters for structure and how the deal gets put together.
Einride, for anyone who hasn't followed them closely, is a tech company building electric and autonomous freight solutions for big shippers. Think electrifying and in some cases automating the heavy logistics chain. I mean, when you look at the data, freight electrification and autonomy are a clear thematic trend. This filing gives thematic investors and SPAC watchers a clearer timetable for when a public entity might actually show up on the market.
Right.
So what's next? The regulators will review the registration, the companies will respond to any comments, and then we usually see proxy materials and a shareholder vote date announced.
And on that point, SEC comments are the practical next catalyst. If there are big comment letters or required amendments, that can slow things down. If the filing sails through, the schedule tightens up.
Exactly. And this is where people often get tripped up. Filing the registration is a big step, but it's not the same as approval. The back and forth with regulators can still change timing and sometimes deal economics. Legato being a SPAC also means there's an interplay between the sponsor, any trust cash, and how the pro forma equity structure looks after the deal closes. That affects liquidity, who holds what, and potential dilution.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's break that down simply. If the SPAC has money in trust, that cash typically goes to the public company at closing. But there can also be PIPE financing, sponsor shares converting, earnouts, or other structural items that change the cap table.
And investors watching this should expect some volatility around each step. Filings, SEC comments, proxy mailings, and the actual shareholder vote can all move sentiment and the price of the SPAC stock.
Analysts note that companies in electrification and autonomous logistics carry both high growth potential and high execution risk. Regulatory approvals, technology rollout, and customer adoption are all variables. So for people tracking this, watch the SEC filing docket, look for any amendments to the registration statement, and pay attention to when proxy materials hit. Those are the next meaningful milestones.
And from a practical standpoint, companies often put more color into investor presentations once the registration is filed. So those decks are worth scanning for revenue assumptions, pilot programs, and partner agreements.
I mean, another thing, the market for transport tech is getting more crowded. That makes transparency around unit economics and customer contracts especially important for judging who stands out.
Honest question. Are we ever going to stop saying unit economics on every earnings call?
Probably not. But seriously, it's the backbone of the story here. If electrified freight can be cost competitive and scale, that's a different conversation than if it's primarily a cost center.
Quick reactions. Interesting development. Cautious optimism.
Agreed. Momentum, but watch the regulatory back and forth and any changes to the deal papers.
Final practical note. If you want updates or want us to dig into the filings, send your questions to stockalpha.ai. There's a Q&A feature there, and we'll answer what we can.
To wrap up together, this filing moves the proposed combination into a more public phase. It heightens visibility for Einride's electrification and autonomous freight play, and it sets up a series of regulatory and shareholder milestones to watch.
Right. Keep an eye on SEC comments, amendments, proxy schedules, and any investor materials that follow. Those are the next catalysts that will tell the rest of the story.
Got questions? We'd love to hear from you. Head over to stockalpha.ai, where you can ask us anything and we'll answer live. And while you're there, check out more market content.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back with more Alpha Insights after the Market Hours update.